Hello and God bless you. I've just been meditating on the Pharisees. Have you ever stopped to think about, from their point of view, what they were thinking at this time? Because it's very easy for us to look from the outside in and pass a judgment. But from their point of view, they were zealous for what they thought was righteousness. They were zealous for what they thought was right. They were zealous for the admiration of men. And in amongst all that, they forgot to acknowledge God. They didn't even notice him when he was in their presence. We are in these days where we are surrounded by Pharisees and they don't even realize it, just like the Pharisees didn't see it. We're surrounded by people with the same spirit as the Pharisees. It's the Jezebel spirit. And we see in Revelation 2, Jesus spoke to the church of Thyatira, calling them the corrupt church because they tolerated the ways of Jezebel. Are we tolerating the ways of Jezebel? Is our behaviour one of, what can we even say? It's just intolerable to the message of Christ. Speak the truth in love is what Paul told us. Jesus talked about our heart attitude. Even in the Psalms it says, create in me a clean heart and renew a right spirit in me. We have all these to remind us to keep our heart and our attitude like Christ. And yet we have people rising up and wanting to accuse brethren, call people out, belittle people, just like Jezebel would have done, just like the Pharisees would have done, because they think that they're righteous in doing this. How is putting someone down, especially publicly, ever a godly thing? But these people clearly think that what they're doing is just. It's one thing to say to your brother or sister, I disagree with you, can we talk about it? It's quite another to try to belittle someone, to try and hurt people publicly. We gain nothing from the admiration of men. What does God think about this behaviour? Who are we to tell people what is an unforgivable sin when the Bible says there is only one unforgivable sin? We must take hold of the full gospel and check in with our own heart. Paul in 1 Corinthians 12 says to examine your own heart. And he goes on to say, if you don't examine your heart and you come to the Lord's Supper without a clean heart, many are sick and dying because of this very reason. Check it out. Check it out for yourselves. The Bible has very clear warnings. And I've never really thought about it from the point of view of the Pharisees until the Lord's been dealing with my heart today. And I can talk to people who I don't like their behaviour very much. And I can talk to them kindly. I can still be polite. I can still be a nice person to them. But God's been dealing with my heart attitude, because there's things I want to say to these people and say, you know, you're out of order and it goes against the Bible. So I've got to deal with my heart attitude, because how can I say I've forgiven someone? How can I say I'm right with someone if I've still got things I want to say to them? So I've repented today and asked God to create in me a clean heart, renew a right spirit in me today. Make my heart attitude like the one of Christ, that when Judas was bringing those people to arrest Jesus, he still called Judas his friend. He showed no malice. He showed no unkindness, even though this man was condemning him to death. We need to check our heart attitude and ask the Lord to honestly search us in this day, because he's coming back for a spotless bride. A spotless bride. And yet we have the excuse that we're under grace, so it's okay. He's coming back for a spotless bride. So it's not okay to just be okay with a bad attitude. We have to really get right now and start asking the Lord to examine us and get us right with him. We're supposed to become more like him every day. It's no longer I that lives, but Christ that lives in me. But how much of me am I holding on to? How much of my old self am I holding on to when I'm holding on to bitterness and unkindness and unforgiveness? Because that's not Christ. He has not held bitterness against me. He's not been unkind to me. He's been nothing but a generous God compared to the things I've done in my lifetime. And if God can forgive me, I should and can forgive others. I hope this resonates with you. God bless you.